All right, so let's go ahead and finish up this chapter so we can get going. My coffee's gotten cold here. So now, let's talk about solutions and as well as salvation. And this is often what we refer to as the afterlife. So one common thread throughout the lectures of this chapter has been differentiating between Western and Eastern thoughts. And we'll continue that again here on this closing slide. With the monotheistic faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, the afterlife, some different names, paradise, heaven, bliss, or the opposite, hell, fires of Gehenna, right, we're all familiar with. As for those who disbelieve, even if they come to possess all that is in the earth, and as much more to offer, that they might redeem themselves therewith from the punishment of the day of resurrection, it would not be accepted from them. There awaits them a grievous punishment. They would wish to come out of the fire, but they will not be able to come out of it of themselves. There awaits them a long-lasting punishment. So, resurrection, right? Paradise, heaven, or hell, Jesus of Nazareth called the fires of Gehenna. We see this concept, I was reading from the Holy Quran there, so that's just an indicator that that's common to the Western faiths. That's the afterlife. Now, when we get to the East, that idea of the afterlife it's treated a little bit differently because of reincarnation. Now, with the Eastern faiths, they want reincarnation to stop. And I know for a lot of people, they go, oh, why? It'd be so great to be able to live again. Well, remember, with the transmigration of souls, with reincarnation, that impersonal essence is what is reincarnated. Your knowledge, your personality, those aspects are not. So you're still going to have to go and take algebra again. You're still going to make the same, mistakes again. And that's really what we don't want to happen. So, in Hinduism, they want to move from ignorance to knowledge by following Dharma, generate so much good karma that they can stop the cycle of birth, life, death, and rebirth. And then that aspect of self, that essence, that Atman, what happens then at death, it returns to Brahman. And the way to envision that makes sense, this teaching within Hinduism, is that impersonal essence, which is in us, would be like a vessel of water. And that's constantly being recycled with reincarnation. But then, at death, if everything goes, if you move from ignorance to knowledge, follow Dharma, good karma, immense good karma, then that vessel of water is poured back into Brahman, which is be like a big ocean. So it'd be like being reunited with Brahman that you were separated from initially with your first birth. With the teachings of the Buddha, what the Buddha taught was to likewise move from ignorance to knowledge, following Dharma. Also wants to seek nirvana. An interesting part of teachings of the Buddha, nirvana is experienced in this life. So it's a characteristic, it's not a place. It's a characteristic, a quality of living, reaching nirvana. And then After death, you reach what's called parinirvana, which is the cessation of that cycle of life, living, death, rebirth. So in the West, we have what's called the afterlife, but in the East, they want the cessation of that series of endless lives. So we really can't put the term afterlife to it, but we can see that we do have a solution, salvation, for all those different questions that we've been looking and following throughout with in this chapter. So it's always good to be here with everybody. Thanks for your time and attention, and as always, please be well, do good work, and keep in touch.